Hello everyone, hail, and welcome to this special episode of Midgard Musings on Midsummer Night, 2018. Now, you may notice that there's a few things different. Obviously, it's not a live video, and it's a little bit darker. But there's a reason for that, and we're going to be talking about a few things as it pertains to that here in just a moment. You may also let me shed some light on the subject for you here. My head has a slightly different rune painted on it, and there's a reason for that as well. I hope you guys don't mind the shade or the ambiance that we're facing here, but let me try to improve it just a little bit. That way you can see what's going on here. All right, so tonight is Midsummer Night. What a lot of heathens recognize as Midsummer anyway. This is the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, at least in the northern hemisphere, which is where I am. And today is a significant day, or a season, if you will. This is a significant time of year for heathens and pagans of many different paths and many different walks of life. But today, for Norse heathens specifically, or this type of year for Norse heathens specifically, we are reminded of the death of Baldr. And now, for those that maybe aren't fully aware of who Baldr was or is and why his death is significant, Baldr was, in Norse lore, the best and brightest of the gods. He was called the Shining One. His light, he brought light to the world, and he was a son of Odin. And the lore says that there was a time that Baldr was having visions or dreams of his death. And he was so loved by his mother Frigg that Frigg went out into all the 9 realms and received oaths from everything, not just animals, but rocks, trees, everything that she could get an oath from, that they would never harm Baldr. And so after some time, when she had reached all the 9 realms and gotten everything to swear an oath to never harm Baldr, she comes back to Asgard, realm of the gods, and delivers the news that Baldr is safe. Nothing's going to harm him. Everything has sworn an oath to never hurt him. So at this point, or at some point anyways, after she came back, the gods decided to start a game of sorts. Kind of just throw things at Baldr, right? Or throw stuff at Baldr and watch them bounce off of him and never harm him. So they were throwing rocks and spears and shooting arrows and who knows what else. And Loki sees all of this fun stuff going on and gets kind of jealous, decides that this would be a good time to maybe throw in some trickery, some mischief, and goes to Frigg and is one of her handmaidens. He shapeshifts and disguises himself as one of her handmaidens and asks Frigg, "Did you really and truly get an oath from everything in the 9 realms? Every single thing that you possibly could? To never harm Baldr?" And Frigg said, "Yes. All except one thing. And that one thing," she said, "was so young and so small and so seemingly insignificant that it didn't seem right for her to ask for the mistletoe to swear an oath to never harm Baldr." So she says, "No, I got everything except the mistletoe because it was so young and so small that it didn't seem proper to ask an oath of such a small and young thing." So then Loki, being Loki, leaves the presence of Frigg and goes out to west of Valhall. I'm not sure exactly where that would be, if it's Midgard or where, but west of Valhall is where Frigg said this plant grew. So Loki goes fashions a spear after mistletoe, after the branch of mistletoe, comes back to Asgard where the gods are continuing to play this game, throwing stuff at Baldr. So Loki comes up and goes up to Baldr's brother, Holdr, who was blind. Now Holdr is kind of sitting off to the sides. He's not participating in this event because he's blind. Loki asks him, "Why aren't you, throwing things at Baldr?" He's like, "Well, I'm blind. I can't see. Couldn't see where to throw." So Loki says, "Well, I will help you. I will guide your arm and your hand or whatever, and I can see where Baldr is, and I'll help you out." So Loki then gives the mistletoe spear to Holdr, guides Holdr's arm, and then when Holdr throws the spear at Baldr, of course it finds its mark, killing him. So what happens then is Baldr ends up in Hell, the place where Loki's daughter, Hel, so he ends up in Helheim, and Hel's Hall. And Odin sends his messenger, Hermod, on Sleipnir down to the underworld to beg for Baldr's return, to see what can we do to get Baldr's return back to Asgard. And of course Hel is a place of not torment, but it's definite. Once you are in Hel's Hall, there's nothing to do. There's nothing that can be done to be released. So Hel is very reluctant to give up the son of Odin, and Hermod is begging and pleading and saying, there's got to be something that we can do. There's got to be something that we can compromise with or whatever. So Hel says, well, if you can get everything, every living thing, every creature, every rock, every tree, everything in the 9 realms to weep for Baldr being dead, I will release him from my hall. So Hermod goes back to Asgard, delivers the news, and so then the gods go about the task of getting everything in all the 9 realms to weep for Baldr. And they all do, save for one soul, or one creature, which was a giant, in Edda is called Thok, which is thanks, and is widely believed to have been Loki yet again in disguise. And Thok would not weep for the loss of Baldr. And due to the fact that not everything wept for Baldr, Baldr remains in Hel's Hall until Ragnarok, when after the events of Ragnarok and the cyclic end of the world is finished, Baldr returns to reign and bring his light back to the realms. So the reason why I tell this story now on Midsummer is because Midsummer is the season or the time of year when it is believed that Baldr's death occurred. Because after today, the light slowly begins to wane. Hence the darkness that we're somewhat seeing in here, the not so bright ambiance. But Baldr returns. Baldr returns after the end of it all. It's a very symbolic type of thing. So we celebrate Baldr as being the best and brightest of the gods. And again, going back to the reason why I have this rune, I'm going to show you exactly which rune it is, in case you can't see it so well in my head. This is Eihwaz, or Eihwaz, alright? And it basically means the yew tree, the same type of tree that the Allfather hung from to gain his knowledge of the runes. I'm going to read you some notes that I took down in regards to Eihwaz, so we can all maybe better understand why Eihwaz is important for us to ponder and think about during Midsummer. It's a rune of life and death, cyclic life and death, Its roots, the roots of the yew tree were believed to have run so deep that they touched Helheim, the realm of the dead. So the pondering of Eihwaz, or Eihwaz, however you want to pronounce it, allows us to understand the cyclic motions of life and death. It's a protection rune, okay? It does have very strong protective elements. It teaches us patience and unselfish giving, because the yew tree gives of its fruit abundantly and freely. The reason why we associate Eihwaz with Baldr is also because of that, because Baldr was beloved, the one who's loved by all, the beloved one of the gods, the shining one. Not a whole lot is talked of him in great detail, but his very essence, his very being is of that of warmth and of comfort and of joy and of love, right? Another thing about Eihwaz, though, is that because it is so giving and it is so freely and it's giving, the fact that the fruit is poisonous is also something that needs to be considered. So again, it gives and it takes. There's a cycle, right? It teaches us strength, reliability, dependability, and flexibility. Being able to bend where we need to. Being able to do what needs to be done even when it's the harder thing to do. So, this is my gift. It's not much, but this is what I wanted to do for all of my followers and all of my subscribers and all my friends that tune into this channel every week to watch the Havamal readings that I do here live on Facebook. Well, I don't do it live on YouTube, but it's uploaded here on the channel. I do them live on Facebook. So before I do this next segment of this video, I want to invite everybody that's watching now to please go down into the description of the video and click on the link for the Facebook page. Head over to the page and give it a like, so that way you can join the live feed every week. It's a Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time live feed. We're more than halfway through reading the Havamal, so if you aren't tuning in every week, you can still always catch the videos here on the channel, which I upload when they're done. But we'd really love to have everybody tune in live. And then again, as well, as you're watching this video, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button while you're here. It takes just a second. And then there's a bell notification next to that subscribe button or below it. If you click that bell, you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded to the channel. So before we end this video, and before I bid you all farewell for the evening, and however you want to celebrate your midsummer night, midsummer weekend, I do want to do one thing for everybody. Now this is a participation type of thing. All right, we've already discussed Eihwaz, and if everybody thinks about Eihwaz during this midsummer time, I know I sure will, and I hope that it serves you well. What I also want to do now, though, is I want all of you that are watching this, to focus on something. Focus on something that you want to learn, that you want to experience right now from the runes. Because the runes, what you ask of the runes, right? What you ask of the runes is true. Now this is for something that everyone here can participate in. There's something on your mind right now. There's something in your heart right now that you're needing an answer to. Maybe you're looking for direction on something. Maybe you're traveling down a road and there's a fork in the road and you're just not exactly sure which fork to follow. And you stop. And there's an old man at the fork in that road. You don't know this man, but you know he knows the best way to go. And so you stop and you ask the old man. And the old man tells you which way to go. Now, we don't know if it's left or right, or if it's back the way you came, but it's forward. We know it's forward. Now think about that. Think about whatever it is right now that you are unsure of, that you maybe need some direction in, you maybe need some guidance in. It's up to you to follow the path. It's up to you to walk. It's up to you to put that one foot in front of the other. But the runes never lie. And there's lessons to be taught in the runes. Lagus. Lagus is water, the ocean. Water is life to everyone and everything. Water will move without you wanting it to. It has its own power, if you will. Now, to help with your direction in life, let me just share something with you because I thought of this. This is a very interesting rune. I've had it come up a lot for me here lately, and there's one thing that stands out in my mind. And I don't want to paraphrase it, but I do want to. So give me just a second while I find what I'm trying to say. Right. So even though you can't live without water for long, you can't live for long in it. You can't live without it, but you can't live in it. Right? Instincts and depths of emotions are shown by this rune. It shows your ability to emphasize and adapt to any situation. Just like water. It crashes through things, it moves around things, it fills things. It's adaptable. You're adaptable. Am I saying that right? Adaptable? You can adapt. The path that you are following right now, let it flow. Let the natural flow of things take hold. You know, but don't get submerged in it, otherwise you'll drown. Let the natural flow of things and be like water, you know? So anyway, everyone, I hope that you've enjoyed this special video. I invite you all to tune in on Facebook Sunday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time this Sunday. That will be June 24th for the next 9 stanzas of Hovmal. Head over to the Facebook page to see where we are at. I believe we're at stanzas 109. We're going to be staying 109 through 117 or 118, 9 stanzas. So please come over to the Facebook page on Sunday and join me on the live feed. And if you miss it, that's okay because the video will be uploaded here on this channel. So thank you all for joining me tonight. Hail to you all. Enjoy your midsummer, and I will see you all again on the next video. Hail.